Like Judaism itself, Havurah Shalom is not defined by a building, nor an ark. Havurah arises from values, aspirations, and stories, from our contemporary experience, and from Jewish tradition and Torah.
Havurah was founded and thrives because of its warm community born of members' active participation. Whether in spiritual practice, Jewish education, Jewish music and tikkun olam, or social action, Havurahniks create community through participation. This creates a warm, tight-knit, diverse, egalitarian space welcome to all. Our rabbi and staff serve as partners and advisors, as Havurah's members themselves learn, teach, pray, make music, and work together to heal the world.
Here at Havurah Shalom, Judaism takes shape as an exploration of our traditions within a wide range of spiritual practice and social and economic backgrounds, in the spirit of Reconstructionist Judaism. Music, traditional and new, is the bedrock of our services. Tikkun olam, healing the world, activates the ideas and values we explore through education, services, and creating an always renewing sense of community. Listen as members of Havurah Shalom speak about its story and value.
I think and feel very strongly that I can bear witness to how Havurah is committed to change. And inclusivity, by definition, is a process that requires change.
I really admire Havurah's openness to all people, all practices. I come from a mixed family, and we are completely embraced here, and I wouldn't go to a place if it didn't embrace my entire family.
My experience was growing up in an East Coast conservative synagogue where it was very much about the rabbi. The rabbi was like up there on the stage. And at Havurah, it's very much about like all of us. It's not, the rabbi is amazing and guides us and leads us, but also it's all about us and all the amazing talents and beautiful things that we all bring to the community.
It is not a rabbi-centric community. It pulls everyone in. I was invited to give a drash, which I had never been invited to do in my whole life. There's always something to contribute to, and always ways that you feel like your voice is valued and what you have to offer is needed.
So it's been very interesting to join Havurah Shalom and be someone who identifies as queer and gender non-conforming. I always worry about those things when I come into a new space. And what I could say was, it was a totally non-issue. I mean, people did not care who I was with. What they cared about is, what committee am I going to join? I've never been in any group that's been true. And I had an experience where I went into a restroom and someone in there said to me, tried to correct me, told me I was in the wrong restroom. And it's not an uncommon experience for me, and it's also upsetting. And so I went back to my spouse, and we were talking with a straight ally friend of ours, and the ally just took it up, this is not okay, and went to the folks at the synagogue, went to the committees, and got it put where there are now signs up outside of every restroom saying everyone is welcome.
Yeah, I think one thing that maybe is sort of particular that I really like about Havurah is when I went to college on the East Coast in a city where there's a lot of Jewish people who are especially from the Northeast, but from all over. And there are certain values and normative values in the Jewish community that I find really challenging, and they were assumptions I just didn't have coming from Havurah. I didn't realize that there was so much tension around interfaith marriage or patrilineal descent. As somebody who is, my mom is not Jewish, and I just didn't really think about that as much of an issue because it was not an issue about Havurah.
When I think about Havurah, I think often first about something that Rabbi Joey said to me when I was in the interview process for this position, which is, he said, there's just such fantastic people. And that's really true. Havurah is a collection of fantastic people. And when I say that, I mean people who are committed, who are compassionate, who are thoughtful, who are devoted to making this world a more just and loving place, and who really, as best we can, care for one another and support each other and come together to make meaning and connection and connect to Jewish tradition in a way that's relevant and meaningful and really brings more joy and holiness into our lives.
I think that spiritual practice at Havurah is a place where people can come and wrestle with the texts, wrestle with the Torah, wrestle with the prayers, and you don't need to know it all. You can read it for the first time and speak about it and engage about it, and you don't have to be learned, and at the same time you are invited to learn, and you'll learn from each other, and we learn from the early commentators and others in the library that I'm sitting in here, for example. And it doesn't all happen quickly, it doesn't happen overnight, but if you stick to it, we call it spiritual practice. If you practice, you will find meaning.
So one of the things that I really love about Havurah is that there's opportunity for lay leadership. So non-clergy to be able to have an opportunity to get involved in leading pieces of services. And I've been able to do that a few times over the last 20 years. And almost every single time after the service is finished, somebody will come up and share with me how a particular song really drew them in or made them feel comfortable or really just made them feel at home. And I love that. It's just a wonderful experience to be able to both do that as the leader and then also experience that as the community member.
I think Havurah has a wonderful devotional community. I found it extremely helpful getting through COVID, just doing services online and meditation online. I think I would have gone a little bit more crazy with COVID if I hadn't been able to do that. And I also think that I've been impressed from the very get-go that Havurah people are really skilled at Hebrew, and it's been something that has encouraged me and given me the desire to emulate that kind of skill. And the drashes are wonderful because it is a progressive community. So I always am learning something, and the rabbi, I think, is also terrific, and I always am feeling spiritually connected with the rabbi.
Being a rabbi at Havurah is a fascinating challenge and opportunity. This is really a non-rabbi-centric community, I think, is how Havurah would identify itself. And so it means finding ways to assume leadership and be able to teach and lead and guide while also collaborating and helping to empower people to teach Torah and lead prayer and take all different kinds of leadership roles in the community. And that's a really fascinating challenge and really speaks to who Havurah is. I think at our core is this sense of really empowered Jewish life, and it's a really beautiful thing.
I think the education system set up at Havurah really supports the families and reinforces Havurah's values when it comes to working together. So being collaborative and making sure that the core values of Judaism are present, and that we help our children see Judaism very alive and active in this time.
I'm part of the climate action team, and even though we don't often talk about our Jewish value and in connection to the work we do, we're all aware that this is part of tikkun olam, the repair of the world, and we're literally repairing the world and repairing the oxygen, the atmosphere, the repairing of our forests and our streams, and the work that we do. So I think that's just below the surface of what we do, and it becomes more apparent during our Yom Kippur afternoon discussions, which the Climate Action Team has led for at least the past 3 years. We've been involved.
So my Jewish values are that got to make the world right, and my talent is teaching people languages and being social and being a friend. So that's what I'm doing. Working with Havurah people who have similar values to mine makes it a lot easier to do the work that I want to do. And it's a fun group of people. We can work and we can play together, and I like that.
I love the sense of becoming at Havurah, that I feel like we're always becoming. We're not a static community, and that's difficult because it means people need to be willing to change and grow and flex. But I find this community, the leaders who I work with and people who I collaborate with, to be open, consistently open to self-reflection, and self-reflection as a community. And that means that we're never the same thing. And so as we get new members, which we are having a lot of new members over these last few years, it means that Havurah is in the process of becoming Havurah always, which feels like a really healthy way of doing community.